Hello. So I went ahead and recorded two of my split sessions. The first one was my uh, chest, shoulder, and back workout. And then my second video is the biceps, triceps, and traps. And what I've done is I just did one set, I recorded just one set of each of the different movements that I do. And I'm going to do a voiceover on each of the movements just to talk about where my mind is on each of the different movements, how I'm focused on them, whether I do it consistently or not, or how I mix it up. Because mixing it up is what makes it fun, figuring out maybe what works, what doesn't work, which I've done for a lot of different movements. I think the most important part of any workout regiment is consistency, the intensity, and the recovery. Those three things are just critical in ensuring that you're getting consistent work on all of your muscles and time to recover. Nutrition's also an important part of it. I I personally believe that as you're exercising and you're consistent and you have the intensity, many times that kind of makes up and gives you the mindset of having good nutrition because you don't want to ruin your workouts and your that consistency. Um, so getting the consistency is part of that discipline. And for me, I, I look at discipline as completely separate than motivation. As we all know, motivation gets us driving, gets us moving, gets us excited about doing something. Then the discipline is actually following through with that motivation. And many times I've referred to it as that motivation is creating a beautiful spreadsheet for whatever goals or for whatever analytics you're trying to cover. And then the discipline is using that information that you've garnered or put into that spreadsheet to actually make it useful and worthwhile because otherwise it's just a wasted spreadsheet sitting there. Um, I don't know if anyone else understands that or gets that, but it kind of works for me. So that's what I do when I do my workouts is I try to be very consistent. And in fact, I never miss. I know that on what day I'm doing what exercises and um, I know how long I'm going to do it. I time each of the between sets, my rest periods. I'm ensure that I have the tie into the whatever muscle I'm using. I really focus on feeling whatever that muscle is that I'm trying to work, which again I think is really important. And I try to go to failure on every single set. Um, and to failure meaning that last rep, I can still do the movement pretty clean. Most of the time is not very clean, but I try to maintain the form of whatever that movement is. So I'm going to go ahead and start. I'm going to actually put this intro onto both video one and video two, and then I'll go do voiceovers on each of the different movements. And hopefully, it's not too boring. It's um, but again, being 60 years old and being in shape and feeling that I've learned so much. Again, if anybody can learn anything from this, garner anything from my experience, fantastic. I love it. All right, first chest movement is the dumbbell press. I've got the bench at a 15-degree angle, and I'll keep my elbows in to prevent my shoulders from being engaged. That's where the injuries will occur. I'll bring it down nice and easy and controlled. I'll just tap the outside of my pecs lightly, just feel it with the dumbbells, and then explode back up. I'll continue to do this movement. I'll feel myself getting more and more fatigued with each of my different movements. I'll keep my feet flat to keep good, stable pressing, make sure the weight is where it needs to be. As I start to feel myself fatigued out, and I can tell that I'm going to get to a last rep, on the last rep, I'll try to hold it as long as I can on the way down. Keep control, keep the contraction, and ooh, push it, pull it, drop it, good to go. Next incline press is at 45 degrees. Same focus on your form. Ensure your feet are flat. You're focusing on your chest. This also engages the front of the delts. Ensure your elbows are in. 45 degree is optimal. If you feel your elbows coming up to a 90 degree, that's where your chance of shoulder injury is really going to increase. I'm feeling the form all the way down, lightly tapping my chest, pressing up, keeping control, really feeling the contraction, and once again, good to go. This next chest press, I use the cable machine, and as you can see in the background, this is a hoist. I support my back. This is one I picked up. I think I was watching Sam Sulek do some cable presses, and I thought, oh, I'll try that. And I really liked it. I don't do a lot of weight on this. I think I have it like at 40 pounds on each side, maybe 50, but currently I'm doing 40. And I will just focus on that stretch all the way back. And when I lift up, I'm focusing on my chest, my upper chest, and I try to bring it up to eye level. And then it controlled, and I try to squeeze at that top as well. And I'll go as many reps as I can on this. I always count just to keep me focused, but there's no like set number. I just count. So, and once I reach that point where I can feel myself fatigued out and I can't bring it in all the way, I might do a couple of partials just to burn it out, and then I'll call it good. These standing bent over rows, a lot of people don't like these. They say it hurts their back. I just notice if I bend my knees right, keep my back as straight as I can, focus on my lats, really focus on the contraction, especially when my elbows are shooting up towards the ceiling. I really like these. Now, I don't do these as often as I used to. I probably do them maybe once every other week on just one of the different days of my splits. But I'll just, again, focus on my form. You can see how I get lower and lower because it is getting heavier and heavier. And I'll just go until I'm fatigued out, until I keep my form. And when I can't keep my form anymore, I'm worried about my back, I'll stop. This is a seated lat pull. I don't know if you can see, but I've got the bench back up all the way to give me some support. I got my feet against the brace of the bench down below because the hoist machine doesn't come with a foot brace. I'm using those handles on a bar that I bought from Amazon to allow me to be able to do additional movements. I'm really focusing on the contraction. I'm trying to squeeze my shoulder blades together. If I can feel that when it squeezes together right there, that's the good stuff. And I'll go until I can't maintain that form anymore. And when I feel it, I'll stop. I'll follow up with another seated row. I've moved up the angle to try to bring it right into my pecs, the nipples of my chest. Same idea. I'll have that stretch forward, try to feel that stretch, squeeze my shoulder blades together, really focus. Sometimes I'll actually close my eyes and just think about the muscles I'm trying to work. And that whole movement is just focused on where that muscle is. You can kind of see me really focusing on ensuring that I get that contraction, that I get that squeeze at the back. And many times what happens is my forearms will give out before my back will. Good lift. Next back movement, I've moved the bar all the way to the top. I'm going to be seated. I'm going to be pulling down, focusing on my upper lats. Each of these movements thus far, I've been focusing on a certain area of my lats, and I ensure that I feel whatever that is. The first one, I want to make sure I'm squeezing, I feel that lower lat. The seated mid, I make sure I feel my mid lats. This one, I'm really focusing on feeling my upper lats. As I'm squeezing down, I'll make sure I feel it, feel the stretch on the way up. Usually on the stretch, on the way up, that helps me refocus where that lift needs to be and where that focus needs to be on the muscles. You can see I'm really going to burn this out. Feel it. Oh, that one hurt. Okay, the last one is your traditional lat pull down. I use hooks on this. It allows me to get a couple, maybe 2 or 3 extra reps in and do some of the partials. I think this is my 5th back movement. Normally, I only do 3, possibly 4 back movements or any movement of any particular muscle group. But I wanted to throw this in just kind of show you all the different movements that I do. You can tell that I'm really focusing on the entire lats. I'm focusing on ensuring I maintain control on the way up. I'm trying to pull it down, feel that contraction, maintain control on the way up, burn it out, see if I can do a couple of partials to really get that blood going. Oh, all right, moving to my shoulder exercises. The first one is my lateral raises. Oh, goodness. I always start with these. I feel like these are probably one of the best shoulder exercises you can do to maintain your strength, your stretches. I feel that this movement can prevent injuries far better than any other movement when it comes to your shoulders. Maintaining the control on the way down, not letting gravity do the work, moving all the way up till you feel it, squeezing it. You can see that the amount of shoulder muscles that are involved with this movement. And once I reach a point where I can't lift it up to parallel, I'll do partials. And the partials, I'll really focus on that delt, that mid delt, to where I can't do anymore. I can't lift it anymore to really get the blood flow going to where I need it. When I can't do anymore, whoop, still got 2 more sets. Oh, that's the good stuff. Next is the standing shoulder press. I always do standing. I refuse to do sitting. I know that sitting's probably a good way to do it if you have some type of twinges in your shoulder, but I like the number of muscles that you have engaged on the standing press, including the amount of work you have to do to stabilize your core. And what I try to do is bring this down as far as I can, once again, to tap those deltoids. I should be bringing that down just a little bit more. And then I want to stretch that out. I want to push it, hold it on the way down as much as I can. I still have 2 more sets. Oh, burn it out, hold it. Nice. Last shoulder movement is for rear delts. Use the cable machine again, very lightweight. I think I have only 20 pounds on each side. I just want to squeeze and I want to feel that. I want to make sure that I'm getting some type of exercise on that rear delt so I can really feel it. I want to stretch it, squeeze it, as with all my lifts. You can see how that rear delt started to become engaged. The longer I do this, the more reps I do. And again, I'll do 3 sets of these, and usually I'll burn them out with that last set. I'll probably end up doing like 15 to 20 reps, but really feeling it. Might be a couple of partials in there. You really see those rear delts working. Engage some lats there as well. Good job. The hoist machine has wide grip and narrow grip that you're able to do with these dips. Dips are my finishers. The wide grip on this dip engages chest, shoulders, back. Mike Mincer said that the dip is the squat of the upper body. Really have to focus on your form on these. You can booger up your shoulders in no time if you start go forward or your form goes all kilter. So I ensure that every single rep meets form. This is how I finish off my split on this day, and I'll do 3 sets of these. And by the time I'm done, I am fried and burnt. Tally ho.